It's the National Football League on EA Sports, and we've got some history in this battle of AFL alumni. It's the Bills and the Jets under the lights on Monday night.
Take the Lincoln Tunnel through Weehawken, through Secaucus, across the Hackensack River, and you'll arrive, as we have, at MetLife Stadium at East Rutherford, New Jersey. Tonight, it's our first Monday night game of the new season, and we've got a good one coming up, as it'll be the Buffalo Bills taking on the New York Jets. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and Charles, the new season finally here. We had the great one Thursday night, all sorts of intrigue in the games yesterday, and now we put a bow on this first weekend with a good one here tonight.
We do put a spotlight on key games, don't we? Even key nights. Thursday night has become a spotlight night. How about Sunday night? But there still is some magic.
A new era begins here at MetLife Stadium. The Bills and Jets underway to close out week one. And no run back on this one, so the new season will begin at the 25-yard line. So here come the Bills on offense for the first time. And led out by their veteran quarterback. He's been around a while. They don't celebrate birthdays for him. They just cut him up, see how many rings he's got around the middle. He has been in the league a long time.
It's been fun to watch his development through the years, and right now what you see is a very confident quarterback who has a strong sense of self, totally understands the offense, and knows how to get the ball to his playmakers on the run.
It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down. To throw, it's Carr. Going underneath, he's got Hockenson. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. This defense looking for an early stop. This is third down and 6. Carr going to throw. Throw out wide is incomplete.
That was their first third down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key third down throws.
And here's Dixon to punt now as he gets this one away. Agnew now to return. So a good punt, but a solid 12-yard return. And the Jets will take over. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. Leading them out is their 6'2 quarterback who was a fourth-round pick back in 2012, Kirk Cousins.
And one nice thing you can always say about Kirk Cousins is that he's consistent. Always puts up nice numbers each and every year. If there is a downside to his game, it's been the lack of playoff success. All in all, though, a formidable starting quarterback at a time in the league, it's tough to find your franchise guy.
And he's brought down. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards.
Well, probably that's the start that you want right there. And you know he spent the entire offseason throwing hundreds, I'd probably say thousands of passes, getting ready for that moment. The first throw of the new season. He's dreamed about it, thought about it, and now it's out of the way.
Now 1 for 1, a lot more to go. On play action, Cousins. Rush coming, and he's taken down. It'll be a loss of 10, and it'll bring up second.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done. Now Cousins. He gets it left side to Johnson. They'll give him 4 yards there. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on third and long. Tall task ahead of him here, needing a full 15 yards to move the chains. A run for the first time with Bijan Robinson. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a fourth down. On fourth down, here's the veteran Thomas Morstead to punt for the Jets. And here's a very low-line drive, almost whiffed on it. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. So here come the Bills out for their second drive. And one of the things we like to hit on every year are the new rule changes, and we got a few for 2023. A lot are procedural, having to do with deadlines and roster construction and such. But the two kind of caught my eye, Charles. One is the option to fair catch a kickoff and have it come out to the 25 like it does in college. You like that?
I don't like it at all. I don't like it in college. I don't like it in the NFL. I want to have something different, and I really wanted the special teams coach to be a little bit more involved. But I do understand why the league is doing it. They believe it promotes safety, and it's hard to argue against that.
What about, this is the other one, guys can now wear the number 0. We've already seen some make the switch. Calvin Ridley, DeAndre Swift. And got his man complete. Touchdown. Khalif Raymond, 70 yards. And the Bills put the Knights' first points on the board as they take the early lead. And that time, he came out of the slot for that big play downfield for the score.
I think what we just saw there, partner, was what we call scheming a guy open. Put him in the slot, know that he has tremendous speed. What you're doing with your other receivers is likely running shorter routes to draw the attention closer to the line of scrimmage, to give him a chance to get downfield and turn it into a one-on-one route. Often against the safety, you like your odds when he's running against the safety. His speed usually wins, and it did on that play.
And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. Back on the field come the New York Jets for their second drive. And Charles, nothing like squaring off with a division opponent, a division rival in week 1. Do you like that they are matching up this early, or would you prefer a game like this be a few weeks down the road?
I actually like the early matchup for a few reasons, Brandon. First of all, it allows you to see that the entire offseason and know, hey, right out of the gate, we're playing a division game. Second part is it spreads them out a little bit. If you just have them all bunched up at the end of the year, that's not as much fun watching teams try to survive that gauntlet when you do have injuries down the stretch. And last but not least, let's face it, we're TV people. What a great game to sell right out of the gate.
Robinson will try to pick it up. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. It's a pickup of 6.
And that's why you spend a first-round draft pick on a running back. Not for just the fancy runs, but these dirty, gritty 3rd and 1s, 3rd and 2s. That's why you draft him.
A first down throw for Cousins. And he will find the open man. It's DJ Moore. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. Ball on the 47-yard line. Here's second and a yard. Cousins. And that one off the mark behind him. Incomplete.
We always talk about receivers. If the ball hits your hand, you're supposed to haul it in, but it is hard to adjust to a pass thrown a little bit behind you.
That one was all the momentum going forward. Couldn't contort his body back to grab it. And Robinson will not get there. Great defense at the point of attack, going to stop him short of the first. Yes, it's the first half, but we'll see if that stuff there on 3rd and 1 comes back to haunt him.
I hope you don't mind, but it's not going to stop me from putting a check mark next to this play. Let's look back as this game progresses and see if this is one of the key plays in the game, even though it occurred early.
Here's Morstead now as he sends this one away. Fair catch called for right around the 11-yard line. They call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And the Bills will be backed up to start the drive. They'll have it 1st and 10. On first down, Carr. Open man is Raymond. He's got it. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down. And now some motion before the snap. And this will be our first penalty of the night's proceedings. Now they nab the rookie there for the 5-yard penalty.
So much going through his head. You know it just has to be, right? All of his assignments and realizing every game he plays, one of the better players in the league will be opposite him.
He's going to look deep down the field. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. They fake the handoff. Now Carr. This is intercepted. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line.
And Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
The Jets offensive unit ready to get going here. And they'll take over here following the interception with a chance to tie the ball game. It's 1st and 10. Following the interception, Cousins trying to fit it into Moore, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Micah Hyde. And the Bills are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line. Well, their defense got them the football with an interception. They trot out there, Charles, in the very first play. They give the football right back.
Brandon, I almost expect you to come to like an auctioneer. We've got two. Do I hear three? Remember, it was 2 in a row. Would we hit 3 in a row? Because these offenses, they got to be a little bit more careful as they go forward. These defenders, they're locked in and really focused.
So good field position for the Bills as they come up 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47. That'll be complete to Allen Lazard. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a 1st down. Play action. Now it's Carr. And that is incomplete. Well, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down. Carr. Catch is made by Hockenson, the tight end. And that's going to be another 1st down as the tackle made at the Jets' 19. They give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains. So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. Into the red zone. It's Carr. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And the Bills are going to be set up with a 1st and goal coming up as they get him down at the 6-yard line.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here. These last few plays, they have moved right down the field. And just like that, they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal.
Now Carr. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Anytime he reads man coverage, I don't think it's going to be the only time he'll try and hit that route to the outside in this game. He'll test the perimeter, but that time, they were up to the challenge.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Buffalo. Tank Dell with his 1st career touchdown in his 1st career game. And the Bills have taken a 13-0 1st quarter lead. So a good start to the campaign so far for them here in week 1.
Yeah, all the things that you dreamed about in April and May and that you worked on in July and August, getting ready for this game, it's all coming together so far.
Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And it's now 14-0. A drive that time of 6 plays. And it culminates in a Bills touchdown. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line. And New York set to take the field. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
2nd down and a run by Robinson. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. 14 yards is the pickup there and a Jet 1st down. Well, you're down early. How do you get back in the game? Maybe establish the run. I think they're trying to do that.
Now, I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offensive coordinator, let's run the football, let's get things settled down a little bit and find our way back into this game.
And down he goes at the 45 after second down and a little more than a yard here. Play action now. Cousins. Open man is Uzama. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field, because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed first down there. They needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
Cousins on first down. And he's got the hook up to Moore. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last two plays. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Second quarter now from MetLife Stadium. The Jets with the football here, as they've got it with a 1st and 10. They'll throw again. Cousins. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Then their backs up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple more times and get off the field before giving up any more yardage.
That is caught. It's the tight end going. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. A good pickup there at 22.
He's certainly done a nice job spreading the field on this drive, and here he finds his big tight end for good yardage. And that's what you have to do. Keep defenses guessing about where you're going to go with the football.
Robinson will take this one in. Touchdown, New York. And a nice little start to the career for the rookie here, hitting the end zone in week 1 of his career.
And that's a true welcome to the NFL moment, isn't it? The one that you actually like. A lot of times it's that big hit from a linebacker that says, all right, Rook, here you are. But when you're able to put it in the end zone and feel that sense of accomplishment, that usually fuels you towards doing it many more times in your career.
Zerline connects on the extra point, and that'll make our score 14-7. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. And now out come the Bills. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways, because you know they're both motivated, they both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
That's a great job of working the sideline right there. I love how he tracked the football the whole way, just reached up and pulled it in, had excellent field presence to understand where he was in order to make that play happen.
So the big play moves him all the way across midfield. It's 1st and 10 from the 45. Gibbs straight ahead. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. From the 42-yard line, here's a 2nd and 7. Another run for Gibbs here. On a nice burst there as he'll take this inside the 30 to the 28-yard line. It's a gain of 13 and a Buffalo first down. Now Carr. This is Fant on the short completion. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down about the 21 or 22. So 2nd and 4 from the 22. Here's Carr to throw. Open man, he's got him, the tight end Hockenson. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a 1st and goal.
Boy, how about the speed with which this offense can get down the field? It's taken them no time at all to get down here, and now they're set up with a 1st and goal. Throwing now is Carr.
and he wisely will throw that one away.
The way he's been slinging in the first half, you expect everything he throws to go for a touchdown, but I guess he's going to have to wait to try and pick up that third, isn't he?
Yeah, I thought he had him for a second, but you're right, not to be. He gets this out wide to Gibbs. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it can turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
Like what I see so far out of this defense because they've been showing their best coverages on third down. So far, only allowed one conversion on a handful of attempts. One area of their game plan that they've executed to perfection.
So a long drive gets him down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
And they'll bring it out to the 25 as Agnew elects for the touchback. Bijan Robinson leading the offense out for another drive. He's just been looking for some space. I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves. So I think now you try and mix things up a little bit. Get the ball in the hands of some other people, find some other playmakers, but always let the defense believe that he's still a threat.
I was going to say, don't forget about it.
No, don't take him totally out of the game. And maybe that touchdown on the previous drive has re-energized this offense a little bit. They've been kind of sluggish until then, but they're showing signs of life here, and they get good yardage that time and a first down.
A first down run, good for about 3. 2nd and 7 coming up.
Not a lot of running room there, not a place to make a cut and kind of exit out because they had everything bottled up. Looked to me like the linemen were taking on their blocks really well and giving up no creases.
Over the middle, complete. It's Johnson.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10. Cousins to throw it. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's 3rd. The Jets on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Again, it's Cousins. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. That's good for 28 yards.
Yeah, these are the types of plays they're going to need to hit on if they're going to get back into this game. It hasn't been the greatest of first halves, but this is a nice throw here on 3rd down, and they keep the drive going.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. From the red zone now, Cousins. Got a man, it's caught. Touchdown, Jets. Deontay Hardy, a 16-yard touchdown. And the Jets have got it back to within a score.
They went 5 wide in that offensive set. In racing, going 3 wide's a big deal. To go 5, how about the way that they finish things off?
Did you just fit a race car reference into the game?
Zoom, zoom. How about the way that you play? When you go 5 wide, that means you're going fast now.
Zoom, zoom indeed. Zerline good with a PAT. And the lead's down to a field goal at 17-14. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. Buffalo offense back out ready to go. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it. Forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair, you don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. 2nd down and 6 now from the 26. Straight ahead with Gibbs here. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the Now a stoppage here as we've got a Bill shaken up on the play. While the medical staff checks on him, we'll step aside in this Week 1 contest. 3rd and 4. Working from the gun, it's Carr. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to. On 4th down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. 46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. That'll be a 48-yard punt, 1 yard on the return. And the Jets will take over 1st and 10. They begin the drive with Robinson. Shoves him aside. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 42 yards now on the ground at just 7 carries.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
On 1st and 10, Cousins. This short throw caught by Goddard. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. 2nd and 7. Straight ahead, it's Robinson. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40. Now a stoppage here as we've got a Bill shaken up on the play. We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium. Now a 3rd and 6. Throwing, Cousins. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Moore. And he's going to come up a few yards short. Brought down at the 45. It'll be a gain of 5. And that's going to make it 4th down. Here's Thomas Morstead on now to punt it away on 4th down. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And this punt sails over the sideline. And the spot, it looks to be right at the 25-yard line. The Bills ready to take over. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
Here's 2nd and 7. Now a play fake. Carr. And that's going to be incomplete.
Right up to that point, I was about to say he's had a pretty good half catching the football, but let's just be honest about it. He should have caught that one.
And he knows that. That was one right in his breadbasket and one he normally catches. That is caught. And he is going to have a Bills 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a 1st down.
And we remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll hand things off to the coach, Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have a look back at a very intriguing opening weekend in the NFL. Carr completes it, and he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 12 yards that time, and a Bills 1st down. Again, they'll throw with Carr. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. Now Carr. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Gibbs. That helps the completion percentage, but not much else, and now it's 3rd and 10. Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the 1st down and move the chains. On play action, it's Carr. Finding Hawkinson here on the out route. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short.
I thought maybe when he caught, he'd have a good chance of getting that 1st down, but that's a nice job of holding him up and preventing him from getting to the sticks.
Fairbairn able to put this one through. We'll Charles, the NFL record is 66 yards. That was 5 shy of that, but only a handful of guys have ever connected from 61 or deeper, and he can add his name to the list.
Yeah, more and more guys are trying it. That doesn't mean the success rate has gone up. That is a long kick. Guaranteed, when he turns on his phone after the game, a ton of congratulatory texts will be awaiting him.
The Jets going to take over now late in this first half. A slim deficit here in a one-possession game. Not much time left, obviously. We'll see if they can march this down the field, at least get 3 and take some momentum into the locker room. Caught out left side by Robinson. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. Despite the completion, they're going to wind up losing 3 there. Second down. It looked like the defense, they were ready for that one.
Really left him almost no room to work after catching the ball. He could throw every move in the book at him. They were there, and he tackled him for a loss.
And he's going to be taken down here as that will lead us to the end of the first half of play. So we reach halftime here at our first Monday Nighter of the season. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL. We'll get our tour started out at Venerable Soldier Field in Chicago. And that's been a back-and-forth game, all tied in the second quarter. From there, we're off to check out another game. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. Both of these offenses had their share of high points in that first half. Each team had some big moments, and it would seem this could turn out to be a game where the last score wins.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point. And we'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. Here's the Jets offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far on the scoreboard as they begin the third quarter here, trailing and looking for a little momentum.
Yeah, you're right about that because, let's face it, in the first half, most of their focus was in the passing game. And to their credit, resulted in a healthy amount of yardage. So I would think that at halftime, they're going to anticipate that defense loosening up a little bit to try and cover the passing lanes. They've got to get the running game going, and there should be some gaps to run through now.
Cousins now on second down. This one hauled in, and again it's Robinson. Pretty nice move, but not a ton of space there. They stop him shy of the 25. An extra defensive back here for the Bills on third down. Now Cousins. And this is going to be incomplete.
And so many times we look at the opening drive of the third quarter as a tone setter, and many coaches do emphasize it. And that's a strong performance there defensively to force incompletion and, more importantly, force a quick punting situation.
Fair catch called for and made right at the 25-yard line. Play action. Now it's Carr. To the sideline and incomplete.
Play action is supposed to be used to slow down pressure, slow down blitzes. In this case, though, if it takes a little too long to develop, you got people right in your face.
And lucky just to get rid of the ball with the arm going forward. Could have been a fumble. Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. A big play here for Buffalo. 56 yards.
And the offense is saying to itself right now, if only they were all this easy, because he was wide open. And once he made the catch, plenty of room to work his way downfield. That was a breakdown on the defensive side of the ball, one that they want to fix immediately.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Here's Carr. His throw caught right around the 6. And the Bills are going to be looking at first and goal as they move this down to the 4-yard line.
How about the way they're moving the ball down the field? They had a big play a moment ago, followed it up with another nice one here, and before you know it, they're already looking at first and goal.
Dobbins. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. That gets him 3 yards closer here as it brings up second and goal. Gibbs is in. Touchdown, Bills.
Sometimes offenses can get too cute down near the goal line, but there's nothing fancy about this one. As Coach Lombardi would say, we get a seal here, and we get a seal here, and we run this play in the alley. And that's good work to hit the hole hard and finish in the end zone.
They're going to keep it on the ground. And he will dive into the end zone, and the two-point conversion is successful. Needed a couple yards for the two-point try. They go to the ground game, and it works.
And sometimes it's the exact right thing to do because a lot of teams play you for the pass. So you spread people out, decide to run the football. You often find good running lanes.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. Now Jamal Agnew from his end zone. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. Another drive coming up for New York's offense. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
Cousins. And that throw behind his man. He missed him. Incomplete.
They always say that real estate is about location. Well, guess what? When it's a slant route, the quick ones, timing, timing, timing. Got to be able to lead your man with the football.
And the timing off right there. Threw it behind him. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. The defense stiffens to force fourth down following that first down gain of 8.
You've got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
Here's Thomas Morstead now as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the offense will come back out deep in their own territory. Throwing on first down is Carr. That's complete to Dell. And he'll be just shy of the 20 at the 19 as he goes out of bounds. And a stoppage here. We're going to need to take a moment as a Jet was shaken up on that one. Well, you always hate to see injuries, especially tough here in week 1. Just hoping this is nothing serious. We'll take a quick timeout. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
I wonder, Brandon, I just wonder, you think maybe he was worried about where he was on the field? Was he far enough? Was he close enough to the first down sticks?
Absolutely. He was right there by him, and I think he was thinking first down before he caught that football.
Yeah, got to catch it first, because if you don't catch it, there's no chance of picking up a first down.
43 yards on the punt, 7-yard return, and they will take over first and 10. The offense for the Jets ready to take over. And Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there was a quick 3 and out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
And the Bills are going to get him as he goes down. There for the sack, B.J. Hill.
He was still looking through his progressions and going through his receiver options, and while he was doing that, the defense got to him quickly in the pocket. And it was a great example of zone coverage, well executed, well coordinated. All the receivers were covered, and he couldn't evade the rush back in the pocket.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Robinson up the middle, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Just a 1-yard loss that time, but that's not what they needed. Now they're dealing with a 3rd and long. From the gun, here's Cousins. Working the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. And a stoppage here. We're going to need to take a moment as a Jet was shaken up on that one. We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. He's got the connection to Moore. And they move this all the way down to the 9. Back-to-back plays of right around 30 yards, and the field position has totally been flipped.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field, and here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Cousins now. And this will be caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Jets. Dallas Goedert, a 9-yard touchdown ground. And the Jets are back within a score. And he is a reliable target. They like to get him involved. They got him involved there for the score.
And they should. He's a very good player. Remember, they can use him.
And now, of course, all scoring plays are reviewed, and I think they're going to take an extra long look at this one. They're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call here in the end zone. And not just the feet. How about the hands? How's the ball possessed while the feet are hopefully getting down in bounds? That's what they're trying to look at to see if it all comes together. So take away the touchdown there, as that's going to be ruled an incomplete pass.
Got a man, it's caught. Touchdown, Jets. DJ Moore, a 9-yard touchdown ground.
And the Jets have cut it back within a score. A nice connection there, finding his target, and that'll put 6 up on the board. Just like they drew it up in their playbook and reiterated on the sidelines, right? Perfect route, a good throw, and the defense, they had no answer for that right there.
Zerline connects on the extra point, and they're within 7 now at 28-21. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick.
This taken in right around the goal line. And he returns this to the 22.
And now it looks like he's in some discomfort after being tackled at the end of that return. We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium.
Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. Pretty important third quarter drive for them. Momentum has sort of shifted the other direction after that last touchdown as they nurse this small lead.
Now a throw for the left sideline, and he's got it. Nothing on that one. It'll be 2nd down. Throwing now is Carr.
And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
An incomplete pass on 2nd down. It muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. Carr.
Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted.
Picked off by Avonte Maddox. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 and a Jet touchdown. Charles, you can just see the frustration on the sideline. Safe to say that's not how they expected this series to go. The ball only went one way, and it was backward into their own end zone, courtesy of the pick six.
And Brandon, how often do we hear offenses tell us before a game they want to end every series with a kick, right? A punt, a PAT, or a field goal. In case of a defense, they want it to end with a punt or a takeaway. And we saw the takeaway right there, and it turned out to be a takeaway that turned into 6 points.
Zerline good with a PAT, and we are all tied at 28. So right back to square one, tied at 28 as he kicks it away. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. We've got a brand new ball game, all even after that last touchdown, so every drive now becoming a little more critical here in the second half. Pretty nice work defensively there on the first down run as they hold him to a gain of a couple. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now Carr. Got a man, that's Lazard. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them. And these guys have been taking advantage so far.
So in jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Dobbins trying the left side. The solid stiff arm. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. 11 more yards that go around. A 1st down as well.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get them. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the 1st down on that run. Don't just ask for them. Show them that you're supposed to get the football.
On 1st down, Carr. And that one's going to come up a little short. It's incomplete.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
Carr. Pass to Lazard, bringing it in on the crossing route. And so close, he gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
Well, this game has certainly had no shortage of offense. Both teams have been revved up from the start. And here's yet another big play. Boy, both defenses have just got to be dragging out there because they've been run ragged throughout.
They'll run with Dobbins. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Buffalo. J.K. Dobbins punching it in from a yard away. And the Bills have taken the lead. So, partner, it was a passing game that drove them down the field, but when they get close, they trust that man in the backfield, and he took him home.
And they trust their offensive line as well because so many of these units, they specialize in either pass protection or run blocking. This group shows its versatility and gets both done on this drive.
Fairbairn good with the extra point, and they will take a 7-point lead. And no return here for Agnew, so they'll bring it out, start the drive at the 25. Here comes Kirk Cousins now to lead his offense back out there. And he had the touchdown on the last drive, also 4 for 4. Very, very effective. What does he need to do to translate that forward into this drive?
Not think that what he saw in coverages last time is exactly what he's going to get again. He's got to play ahead and start thinking to himself, okay, we just did that. What are they going to take away now? What do we go to as a counter? And continue to encourage his offensive line to continue to give him time.
They were really good on the last drive. On 2nd down, another shot for Robinson. And he'll have a Jets 1st down as he's got this past the 35 to about the 37. He's making quite a splash here in his NFL debut.
Well, he was advertised as being NFL ready, and both you and I tend to arch an eyebrow a little bit when we first hear that. but I think that they were right about this one.
That's a good acceleration there as he's across midfield to the 48-yard line. We are through three quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here at MetLife Stadium. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. To throw, Cousins. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Osborne. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. In need of only about the length of the football here on 2nd down. A give left side to Robinson. And he'll get it down to the play to the 37. And a stoppage here. We're going to need to take a moment as a jet was shaken up on that one. We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll run with a former member of the Crimson Tide, Damian Harris. And tough sledding. He'll get maybe a yard. Stop short of the 35. Now 2nd and 9. They'll keep it on the ground. Harris again. And that one opened up for him well as he'll take this down to the 26-yard line. 10 yards is the pickup. Good enough for a jet 1st down.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
They'll try to throw now. Cousins. Open man is Osborne. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down.
Like the design that we're seeing right there. This is what they need. Down by a touchdown here in the 4th. They just need to keep working their way downfield. And when they see openings, take their shots.
Now we're 1st and 10 at the 11. A shotgun snap and a give to Edwards-Helaire. And he'll take this one inside the 10 down to the 8. And a stoppage here. We're going to need to take a moment as a jet was shaken up on that one. We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium. The ball on the 8 still could get a 1st down technically. 2nd and 7. Now Cousins. And this will be caught in the end zone. Touchdown Jets. DJ Moore. Already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Jets are an extra point away from tying this game here in the 4th. We are set up for a fantastic finish now. A 4th quarter touchdown here. We're an extra point away from a tie football game.
And I know they're thinking about possibly going for 2, but I'd go ahead and kick this one and just get it back to level.
Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And, partner, we've got a tie game here in the 4th. What a start to the season. This has been back and forth. All tied 4th quarter as the kick is away here. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. Back now on offense, the Buffalo Bills. Well, they just gave up the score to tie it. That's the bad news. The good news, plenty of time in this 4th quarter to try to grab that lead back. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Taking a shot for Dell here. And that's caught inside the 30. A big play here for Buffalo. 46 yards.
Talk about a momentum shifter right there. Tie game, 4th quarter. These are the plays that win you games. And now defensively, the question becomes, how do you respond?
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. To throw, it's Carr. This is Lazard with a catch out left. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down to about the 21 or 22. Now 2nd and 3. On play action, it's Carr. Under pressure, and And that's Grady Jarrett who forced his way through to register the sack. The Bills on third down. They've strung them to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This is 3rd and 8. He's got his target. That's complete. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Well, so much for holding them to a field goal. The pressure they got home on the previous play didn't hear, and that bought their quarterback some time to find a receiver, and it sets up a 1st and goal.
A field goal could get them the lead, but it might not be enough here as they come up on 1st and goal. Here's Carr to throw. And this is caught for a Bills touchdown. 3rd touchdown pass now for Derek Carr. And the Bills answer back with a touchdown of their own to break our tie and take the lead here in the 4th. So, Charles, this game feels like it has been punch, counter punch all throughout, and that touchdown breaks our tie here in the 4th quarter.
You're making me want to get back in the gym and start training again. You talk about those punches and counter punches. I also think this is where you and I start thinking to ourselves, who's going to make the play to change that, right? Who's going to get out of this little cycle that they're in right now and make a play and give their team a firm advantage?
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. The New York set to take the field. They now trail by 7 after that last touchdown here in the 4th quarter. What a big spot for this offense. See if they can cobble something together on this drive. This short throw caught by Goddard. They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Throwing, Cousins. Finding more on the out route for the completion. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. 13 yards remaining on 2nd down. Now a give, running left is Harris. And only a couple there up to about the 23-yard line. Not the start to the drive they were looking for. That run doesn't do much at all.
No, not at all. And it leaves them with 3rd and long. And you know, this is the time of game where these drives really, really start to matter. They got to make some moves.
That swung out wide to Harris. And he'll be stopped here well short of the 1st down at the 24-yard line. They'll get only a yard out of that, and it'll bring up 4th down. Here's Thomas Morstead now, as he'll come on to kick for a 6th time tonight. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. And they'll come out with a 3 tight end look on the first play of the drive. Drive starts with a run from Gibbs. He'll get a yard, that's all, as they get him down at the 28.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Carr now to throw. And that's incomplete. Critical play in this football game because if they pick up the 1st there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that they pick up a 1st down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
It's a 40-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And the Jets will take over. The New York set to take the field. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, The goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free. Whenever I see a drop like that, I have to kind of take a step back and check myself a little bit. So used to seeing those big guys make big-time spectacular plays that when they drop one, I have to remind myself, we ask a lot out of these guys. Block and catch the football, not easily done in today's NFL.
It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return, and it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. And they start things off with a carry by Gibbs here. Now, during that run, an injury here. We've got one of those big blockers in some discomfort. We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium. 2nd and 9. They'll go again with Gibbs. And he'll take this one up over the 20 to the 21-yard line. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Here's Carr. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he's got a first down as he's going to be taken down. But a very nice pickup there just in front of the 2-minute warning. 5 points of contact necessary at this stage as they'll run on first down. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. Another run on second down, trying to cover up. And he will have a Bills first down, and that should be that. On 1st and 10, here's Gibbs. And he'll be taken down right around the 41-yard line. The Jets going to go ahead and use their final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37.
I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, that looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around the training facility for an entire week.
Maybe flashback to high school or college, carrying it around campus, right?
The old gauntlet drill, right? Anyone get the ball out while he's sitting in class and bring it back to the coach? He's in big trouble.
Carr down to a knee, and that ought to just about do it. And just how they envision the start of the season, kneeling it down, defense can't stop the clock. This one's a winner.
You know what's really strange? I think a lot of people think that the kneel-down practice stuff really only happens like one time a week. The best teams I know, they practice starting back in OTAs. They want them to visualize winning a game and how great that feels, and they got it done in this one.
Yep, a knee gets them to 1-0. Well, partner, that'll do it. These week 1 primetime games, they always seem to have a little bit more electricity, a little more anticipation. A fun one tonight, and a lot of fun ones that we have on the road ahead.
And, partner, I love the word you just used there, electricity. Things were crackling out there, weren't they? And let's face it, both of these teams came in with the idea, get off to the start. Get off to a 1-0 start and get your season going. That could spark an excellent season for them. They've got that in their pocket now.
So for Buffalo, it was a hard-fought game, and they'll exit 1-0 as they win by a touchdown. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Jets, they go down to defeat here in the opener. And they'll try to get back on track next week as they head to Dallas to take on the Cowboys. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.